What is TCP? TCP stands for Trendy Chinese Product. TCPs are now gaining momentum in China. Riding the trend, domestic Chinese brands begin their revival. More and more young Chinese people have become fans of domestic products. It's now in vogue to buy, wear, and share on social media photos of domestic products. So how did old domestic brands make a hit with young people? In the 1970s, domestic brands dominated households in China. Those long-standing and much-liked brands provided not only daily goods, but also found memory for generations. Once upon a time, local brands such as Forever, bicycles, Peony TV sets, snowflakes, refrigerators, Seagull, cameras, Shuanglin, wristwatches, Hero, pens, etc. were popular all over the country. A flying pigeon bicycle was the best dowry for a bride. Wearing a pair of Fiyue shoes was the fashion at the time. In 1997, Hero pens were used for signing official documents during the ceremony that returned Hong Kong to China. However, due to the underdeveloped market, the influx of foreign brands were imported and the changing consumers' attributes. Once popular domestic brands gradually faded out of Chinese consumers' minds, replaced by foreign brands from Europe, America, Japan, and South Korea. Internationally renowned sports brands Nike and Adidas entered the Chinese market in 1980 and 1997 respectively. Fiyue was acquired by a French company at a low price in the early 21st century. Li-Ning lost nearly $427 million from 2012 to 2014, forcing it to close 1,821 stores. Facing pressure from losses and competition, Chinese companies had to rethink their brand positioning. One of the most striking things that ensured are TCPs. February 2018, New York Fashion Week, a local brand from China shown in this world-famous fashion show, with superb Su embroidery techniques and the classic red and yellow color matching. Li-Ning attracted global attention, announcing to the world that the Chinese people can also have their own fashion trends. Sweatshirts and t-shirts emblazoned with China Li-Ning were widely popular. Taking advantage of the TCP craze started by Li-Ning, some local Chinese brands quickly launched new products. Classic domestic brand White Rabbit offered perfume and lip balm. Sports brand Anta joined hands with the Palace Museum to create licensed goods bearing their trademarks. Bosideng brought its down Jackie sports ancient Chinese elements to the New York Fashion Week. More and more domestic brands have returned to the public view. The TCP culture is not limited to old domestic products, though. In recent years, thanks to its creative and fun-loving spirit, the Palace Museum brought modern elements to historical figures, launching a unique series of creative culture products, which captured the hearts of the younger generation. The Chinese born in the 90s have become the main driver of consumption. Their acceptance of new things and their individuality and sense of self is stronger than those born in the 70s and 80s. As consumers, they are not driven by the need to conform, but the need to be themselves. According to the 2018 China Internet Consumption Ecology Big Data Report released by CBN Data, in 2018, those born in the 90s accounted for 65% of TCP sales clothing, an increase of 450% compared with 2017. That's partly why 2018 is called the inaugural year of TCPs. Strong traditional cultural identity was the main force behind the rise of TCPs. In recent years, traditional Chinese culture has received increasing attention, thanks to related TV programs and online platforms. At the same time, technological innovation has injected new vitality into the marketing of domestic products, replacing word of mouth with today's online platform live streaming. On a single day this year, Tmall webcaster Via, who had 30 million followers, sold products of the old brand Baijiu Antelope to the tune of $14.22 million within 10 minutes. Old domestic products, overcoming the limits of time and space, have come into more and more people's lives. For the past decades, China's cultural trends have been constantly changing. Today, confidence about and the love for the Chinese culture is the greatest trend in China. Do you think the TCP culture will last?